What's up, guys? So in this video, we're going to talk about Workhorse Group Inc., ticker symbol WKHS. And this stock has been on an absolute tear. I believe it's up even in after hours as I'm recording this video, guys. So we're going to talk about why this stock is up so much and while the volume just hit 92 million shares. Before I get into this video, guys, please give me a thumbs up and like this video. It really helps me out. Okay, so let's get right into it. What is Workhorse Group? So I noticed that this stock was way up. As you can see here, Robinhood. I track Robinhood buys basically after every trading session, and I'm using a site called robintrack.net. It's free to use. As you can see here, it was the #1 most popular stock on the latest trading session. Over 17,000 people added this stock to their portfolio. So why exactly are people buying this stock? Well, this company, this video is going to have a lot of good information in here, guys, so be sure to watch this until the end because there's a lot of twists and turns. So let's get started. So first of all, what is a Workhorse? Well, Workhorse is basically a company that produces delivery vehicles. So not only do they also produce delivery vehicles, but they actually own a 10% stake and another company as well called Lordstown Motors. So let's get right into it, guys. So I'm here on the website of workhorse.com. So this company is basically producing delivery vans. So their target market is definitely companies like UPS, United Postal Service, USPS, the government postal service, FedEx, basically any company that is going to be delivering items. So as we can see here, guys, if you've been following my video, I've talked a lot about companies like Tesla, where they're trying to electrify passenger cars. I've talked about companies like Nikola Motor. They're trying to electrify diesel trucks. So this is kind of the next step, I guess, in the electric revolution, delivery vans. So this is a really interesting company as well. The company is basically started out a few years ago, and they changed their name over to Workhorse, and this company basically builds these awesome delivery vans. So they have actually two models, the C650 and the C1000, and as you can see, it says a revolutionary step vans built with composite lightweight bodies that provide the best-in-class miles per gallon. And it says it's utilizing the industry's first four-wheel independent suspension system that includes rear air shocks and providing an unparalleled smooth ride for the driver and the load. So this company goes on to say that this is the future of delivery. So one of the biggest benefits, obviously, is that this is a 100% electric vehicle and that you can do a lot of great things with this. So why exactly would companies be interested in this vehicle? Well, let's kind of give you guys some more background. An article posted on TheVerge.com, and this talks about U.S. Postal Service delays next generation mail truck program due to pandemic. So it says some bidders are proposing a switch to hybrid or electric trucks. So basically the article just talks about how the company was basically going to switch over to electric fleet, but basically, the pandemic came in and things like that. So let's get into the meat of the story. So it says the deadline for bids was supposed to be March 27th, but now it's July 14th, according to USPS. The program could award up to $6 billion in contracts to one or multiple bidders, and it's expected to result in manufacture of nearly 200,000 new mail trucks. So as you can see, this is a very, very, very huge thing and a huge story. And the reason why this is so important is because the program to replace USPS's current trucks was launched in 2015, but it is dragged on, forcing the Postal Service to keep its current trucks in service past their expected lifespan, despite the fact that they were introduced in the late 80s and early 90s and lack features like air conditioning. So it says one of the four remaining companies is Workhorse, a struggling electric vehicle startup that has many of its eggs in the USPS contract basket. Founded in 1998 as a commercial van manufacturer, it was bought by trucking giant Navistar in 2005, which eventually shut down. In A&P Electric Vehicles, a company focused on retrofitting combustion engine cars with EV powertrains, bought the IP in 2013 and assumed the Workhorse name. So why is this important? Well, this company is going to be producing and delivering trucks basically mostly on contracts, and the deadline is July 14th. So as of recording this video, that's about 3 weeks in the future from now. And if the Workhorse lands this order, this is going to be kind of a similar effect that we saw in Nikola Motor stock, ticker symbol NK, LA, where the company had some big pre-orders from companies like Anheuser-Busch, and that really sent the stock soaring. So this is a really important development, but it gets even better for this company. So I want to show you guys some more information. Okay, so obviously that was a really good sign that they could potentially get that contract. We won't know, but what we do know right now is that Workhorse also owns 10% equity stake in a company called Lordstown Motors. So as you can see here, this is an article. It basically says Lordstown Motors Corp paid Workhorse Group $12.2 million last year to license the Cincinnati-based electric truck manufacturer's technology. And it says under the agreement which the two companies have entered into in November, Workhorse will receive an initial 10% equity stake in Lordstown Motors, which will be the anti-dilutive for 2 years. So why is this so important? Well, Lordstown Motors is a really interesting story as well. This company basically ended up buying an abandoned plant by General Motors, and they started producing their own electric trucks. So I'm going to show you guys that, what's going on there. So this is another company that's producing another truck similar to the Nikola Badger, similar to the Cybertruck. So maybe you are wondering, why are so many of these electric companies producing these truck vehicles? Well, these are the highest margin, most profitable vehicles. So the F-150, the Nikola Motor Badger, the Tesla Cybertruck, and even the Lordstown Endurance, all of these cars are going to be highly profitable for these companies because a lot of people in America prefer trucks and SUVs. The market for passenger cars is getting smaller. So this is another company. A really interesting story as well. As you can see here, they basically acquired GM, an abandoned GM production plant, and then just rebranded it and kind of to electrify it, guys. And another thing I like about this company is that both of these companies produce 100% of their vehicles in America. So by supporting Lordstown Motors, by supporting Workhorse, you're supporting American companies. So I can show you guys there. Okay, so I found this on the website. It says all vehicles made in the USA. So this is kind of a nice change. Normally most of these companies have been outsourcing. A lot of companies have been outsourcing their production to countries like China. So the fact that this company not only owns a stake in another company that's building electric trucks, but they actually produce their delivery vehicles in the United States. Kind of nice to see companies bringing those factory plants home. And what that also will do is it'll bring back jobs. So, the Ford, Henry Ford, when he first produced vehicles, his whole ideology was to basically make a car that his employees can afford. So it's nice to see jobs come back to the United States. It's nice to see not every single vehicle made in China. So let's get into it even more. Okay, so let's now kind of go back to Workhorse Group stock. So basically, we've covered the product that they're selling. They're anticipating to win that contract or be one of the winners of that contract, and they own a 10% stake in Lordstown Motors. So that 10% stake in Lordstown Motors could be worth a substantial amount of money right now, and currently the stock is currently under market cap of $1 billion. I believe it's around $600 million depending on the current price. So what was responsible for this huge run up? So let's talk about why this stock ran up so much in the first place. And as you can see here, there was a press release that says Workhorse Group successfully passes FMVSS test for its all-electric delivery vans. So basically, they passed safety standards, things like that. So that's obviously a good plus. So that really sent the stock up a ton. Okay, so they reported earnings for their first quarter back in May, and I found this on a PR Newswire. Basically, their goal is to deliver about 300 to 400 vehicles for 2020, with an expectation to deliver a lot more vehicles in the future. So here's the CEO. He's basically a CEO of Workhorse, Dwayne Hughes. He says, we remain on schedule to achieve our target, deliver 300 to 400 vehicles by the end of this year, and obviously they have an expectation to deliver a lot more. It'd be a really key date to see if they win that contract from USPS, because that could be worth billions and billions of dollars, and if they win that contract by July 15th, I think this will send the stock through the roof. So as you can see here, sales aren't very strong. The company is basically just getting started. Sales are low, but the good thing about the company is although they do carry a bit of debt, they do have some liabilities, as you can see here, accounts payable, and 39 million in current liabilities. The good thing is that the company does hold a decent cash position of 16 million, and like I said, they're starting small. They're not trying to produce too many vehicles and churn through and burn that cash up. So they should be fine. I think it's really important to see if they win that contract. So now, what do I think about the stock price in the future? Well, I think this company is grossly undervalued. If they win that USPS contract, that will send the stock through the stratosphere. The stock has already ran up a ton, but if we kind of look back and we move back here to more of a longer term view, and I switch this to candlesticks to see this is kind of easier to visualize. We can see that the stock is up big so far in the month of July, and it's basically trading back where it was a few years ago. So even though this stock is up big, we realize that this company has a lot of potential. There's lots of different delivery companies out there, USPS, FedEx, UPS. They already signed a contract, I believe, with UPS to deliver a few vehicles as well. So this is just another stock that I think is going to benefit from the kind of the electrification of transportation. We're going to see a big switch in the way that people get around and deliver goods and transport themselves around society. So this is an interesting company, and I like that this company makes all its vehicles in America too. I think that's another reason to buy the stock, kind of support American business. So where do I have a price target for this stock? Well, the stock has moved up so much, and we'll be waiting to see about that contract. But I think this is a great time to get in on the stock if you're looking for a long-term position. And since this stock has been moving up so fast, you could make some potential profits trading some options. As you can see here, it's basically ever since March, it's basically just been going up, and it's under 92 million of volume. So I think there's a lot of upside for this stock. The stock's current market cap, just potentially that stake in Lordstown Motor could be worth billions of dollars in the future. If these vehicles catch on, Lordstown Motors has a few contracts to deliver vehicles to some other companies. So just that stake alone is valuable, and then obviously delivering the vans and things like that, that would be very, very beneficial as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For me, Workhorse Group, very strong buy, a lot of growth ahead, and congrats to you guys that got in on this stock. Down here when it was $1 or $2, I still think there's a lot of upside here. If you're going to buy this stock now, be sure to use a stop loss order, because be prepared, because as fast as it run up, we could see a pullback. But for long-term holders, this is definitely a stock I want to add to my portfolio for long-term. I think if you're going to pick any of these electric stocks, I think it would be Tesla. Tesla would be number one. Nikola Motor, Workhouse, and then perhaps a company like Solo or Helion. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash that red subscribe button if you enjoy my content. I post videos on stocks that you guys are buying and stocks that I think can be worth a lot more in the future. So that's until next time, guys. Take care.